can you get another spirit who's more badass to fuck up that spirit?
Yes, in some cases you can.
That's fucking cool. That's
What?
fucking right. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching us on What the Hell Do You Want? And today we have a very, very special guest coming all the way from Buxton, UK. It's Mr. Paul Harrop.
Yeah.
And Paul does a lot of cool paranormal activity investigations. He is also an awesome dude. If you have watched our Facebook and stuff, we're actually good friends, and we will be working together in the UK on some music stuff in the near future once we get the green light from everybody. Currently, we're working on Instagram and stuff together, trying to level up our Instagram skillage. Same with Bobby, and today we're going to talk about ghosts. And
Yes.
First off, Paul, could you please tell me how you got into investigating into ghosts?
Right. Well, it's actually quite interesting. Actually, it actually started when I was 6 years old. My nana Tess actually died, and 3 days after she passed over and she was buried, I went to the house where she was living with my mum and my nana. And when I looked through the letterbox, I could actually see my nana Tess in the hallway, waving at me and smiling.
Whoa.
And this was 3 days after she was buried.
Mm.
And I said to my mum and my nana, I said, listen, why doesn't she open the door? And my mum and my nana looked at me and she says, what do you mean? Because my nana Tess was my great grandmother. And says, my nana Tess, why don't she open the door? I said, she's smiling and waving at me. And they asked me what dress she was wearing. She said, well, what do you mean? What does she look like? And I said, she's wearing a dark navy blue dress with white flowers on. And then my mum and my nan just looked at me a bit gone out. But it turned out that was the dress that she was buried in.
Shit.
And she'd always said to me nana, with her daughter, that if there was a way of her coming back and letting people know that there was more to come, she would. And I didn't go to the funeral. I was only 6. I didn't realise at the time what death really meant. But that stuck with me all my life. That incident that I saw her 3 days after she was buried, and of course as I got older, I began to understand that was her way of letting us lot know that there is more to come. And it was a full body. I understand now that it was a full body apparition, and it was very, very special.
Mm.
And that's how I got into doing the paranormal. That's how I wanted to learn more about.
At the age of 6. So how long?
At the age of 6.
So what's the progression there until you did you see a lot more of this, or was this one time with her?
That was the first time I saw my nana Tess.
So you've seen her multiple times.
I've seen her 3 times altogether, with different family members since then. Because the more I got involved with the paranormal, the more I became open-minded to it. And it was sort of like I learned how to let positive spirits in and keep the negative spirits out.
Okay, so what was the second time?
The second time, I was actually just at home. I was just minding my own business, and I was actually weren't really paying much attention to what I was doing. And it was like on the TV screen, you know how it goes static?
Yeah. Poltergeist.
Or it goes out of tune.
Yeah.
Well, my TV did that. But within the static was her face, and she was trying to tell me something. And I was trying to read what she was saying.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't really understand what she was trying to tell me. But a few days later, one of my family members phoned up and said that they'd actually found some stuff belonging to me on a test, and they thought that they'd like me to have it. And that was to do with me, my nana and my granddad, who were still alive at that day. And that was a few days later. So I don't know whether she was actually trying to tell me that was where it was or what. But I was about
incredible
30 odd when that happened.
So 24 years after the first time.
Yes.
So I'm sorry my mouth is wide open, but this turns out to be more interesting than I thought.
Yeah, so, it's fucking awesome.
Like really, I my thing is I never believed in that stuff until I married a Native American woman, and they have traditions and all that for spirits, because they believe spirits do walk the earth and all that. And if you, like, for instance, if you see a spirit of a loved one, you know, the way to what, you know, they're asking for something is what they think. What you do is you throw a dinner and you make their favorite food, and then you take a plate of that food, and in the early morning after the dinner, you don't clean up nothing, or not everybody eats. You don't clean up anything, but the first plate is for the person, the spirit. And then in the morning, before the sun rises, you go to a tree and you put the food down by the tree, and that's to make the spirit happy. So through my ex-wife, who was indigenous, I had like 3 or 4 weird experiences, and right away she would say, yeah, we're gonna have to have a dinner for this guy. I'm like, oh my God, you know, I mean, we even did one for one of her ex-boyfriends, just because we knew that was him. But because indigenous, their spirits can only go places where they have been before, you know what I mean? So they don't just, you know, randomly show up anywhere. They can go places where they've been before. And he happened to have lived in the older house that I was staying at the time, and we moved eventually. So anytime something weird happened in this house, we knew it was him. So even me being the, you know, the cunt that I am about being a jealous guy, whenever my ex-wife said, we got to have a dinner for this dude, I'm like, start cooking, you know, like whatever. But
so Paul, how do you get rid of them?
How do I get rid of spirit, negative spirits?
Yeah.
We do a thing called smudging. We use white sage.
Okay.
With a seed. I use a large seed shell that's flat like an ashtray.
Okay.
And I get white sage and I light it, and I go round the windows, the doors of the building, and I move in a clockwise motion, and with the white sage, and I put up a barrier round the house, and then I invite only positive spirits into the building, and all negative spirits have to stay out. But it's very difficult, it's very tricky, because if you've got a troubled spirit that's in the building, you've got to make a troubled spirit will lie, they're deceitful, and there will pretend to be something else. Sometimes they will appear as a child, or they will appear as a nice woman. Then pretend that they're the nice spirit and try and get a positive house spirit in trouble, and you kick the wrong one out. So it's very, very tricky, and it's only through experience working with a professional team that you learn the tricks of the trade.
So how long does the barrier last for?
It can last for up to 6 months.
So you would have to do that every 6 months to.
And with the indigenous in America, sage is the number one answer. They sage the whole house.
Yeah.
Another thing they do away with the stereotypes that all Indians in America are alcoholics. You know, traditional natives are not alcoholics, and so a traditional Native American will not let alcohol in the house because that invites bad spirits. They actually have a tradition where if you whistle at night, they don't like you whistling at night because that can attract bad spirits. But the sage thing, I've done that when I was living by myself at an apartment near the university I went to. I would fall asleep on my couch, and it happened maybe 4 times in a year. I would feel somebody pushing me awake, and I would turn around and look, and I'd be like, dude, what the fuck? And I always had sage because my son's half Native American and always gave me sage. Dude, as soon as I woke up and realized what happened, I'd be burning the hell out of that stuff in my house, you know?
My favorite way is the Chinese way, which is absolutely ridiculous. They get firecrackers and they tried to blow up the ghost and scare him out of the fucking house. I had my grandmother every Chinese New Year would be like, I'm going to go downtown, go Chinatown, go buy the firecracker, go boom, go blow up the ghost. And I'm like, you're going to blow up the ghost? Yeah, I'll go blow up the ghost to go there. And so she would get firecrackers and they would throw them in the streets to scare away the ghosts. And at home, she would light firecrackers and blow the shit out of the ghost inside of the house. It's absolutely ridiculous. I like the sage a lot more. That sounds like a much nicer way to go about it.
Yeah, and it makes your house smell kind of cool too, man. You know.
Yeah, that's cool. So Paul, how many people on the team would you normally have on your paranormal investigation team?
7.
7 guys or 7 people?
7 people. They're made up of girls and boys.
Yes, of course.
And we would normally go out. Over time, we were trained by other professional teams. When we first started, we already knew quite a bit about the paranormal, how to do it professionally.
Yeah.
But we were trained by more professional teams who had more experience. Those who don't know, we teamed up with another paranormal investigation group called Spirit, and they trained us to be more professional, and they eventually taught us how to do house clearances properly.
Okay, so of the 7 people, do you all have different jobs within that team, kind of like an army squad?
Oh, yes, we all have normal day jobs. They're all normal everyday.
No, I mean, like, do you each have a different job in the team to do things? Like one guy runs this piece of equipment, this guy is for this, and right? They have different.
And which one of you guys get to wear the Ghostbuster suit?
The vacuum. Who gets the? Don't cross the streams. We have to get in. We had to do one Ghostbusters joke. Come on, right? Come on.
Come on.
I don't have. I wanted to Stay Puft Marshmallow Man instead of my chicken, but like that's all we got on this thing. But okay, so on your team, what was your duty?
I was a group leader and cameraman. I was behind the camera, and I was also in charge of, at the beginning when I wasn't filming, talking to the guests if we were hosting. If we had big guests coming in, I would actually talk to the guests and explain to the guests that there wasn't anything to really be afraid of, and how that we're the sort of team that would, if we invite spirit to come forward and interact, we don't go running.
Okay, just for real quick though. Okay, so the not to be afraid of part. When you first started on this adventure and this really cool thing that you do, was there ever a time that you literally had the shit scared out of you?
Maybe not literally.
But I mean,
yeah.
Was there ever a time because I can see you're very well educated in this, but there had to be a learning curve. Was there ever one time where you're just like, oh fuck, what did I get myself into?
Yes, yeah, there was when we were doing. But the rules is never show fear, because if you show fear to a troubled spirit feeds on that negative energy. It feeds on that fear. So if it knows it can scare you or a member of the team, it will target the weakest member of the team.
That's you, Bob.
Dude, I can imagine that I look totally stupid watching this right now, because I'm like in awe over all of this. Like, really,
Me too, man. It's a great story.
I wanted some of this to be funny, but it's just so goddamn interesting that So I'll just ask the question that both of us have. Do you think animals have afterlives?
Yeah.
Let's get back to that. Let's get back to that one, okay?
Okay.
But please tell us the story of how you got the shit scared out of you. The most the most terrifying ghost story. We will shut the fuck up for this, please.
Right. We were actually doing a house investigation, but we were actually asked to come and help a family. And I can't give out too much details, obviously, because if this goes live, it goes live. So it's not the right place where it actually happened. I have to go with the flow with this one. Let's say the house was in Manchester. And we arrive with the team, and we go there, and they've been phoning us up previously saying that they've had footsteps, they've seen shadow figures, and they've heard a disembodied voice. And that's all they said on the phone. We arrive, and as we're walking up that driveway, I could feel the energy of the building, and it wasn't a nice energy. It was like a really strong, heavy energy that you sort of literally walked into. Like you walk into a walk-in freezer in a hotel or kitchen where somebody hits you.
Yeah.
It was that strong. So me and the rest of the team was experienced, thought there's definitely something here.
Mm-hmm.
And we could tell straight away that it wasn't a nice spirit. And the closer we got to the front door, the stronger this energy got. And as soon as they opened the door, I could see this shadow figure stood behind the house owner. And it was really pushing its feelings out towards me, as I really wasn't wanted. It really didn't want me in the building. Mm-hmm. So I knew then that we were going to have a baton on his hands. So we went straight in, we comforted the house owners and explained to them what we were going to do. That we were going to set up some equipment as it was we go around your property. And me and one other team member will go around the property, and we were setting up drop cams, static cams, because we basically blitzed the place with static cameras and equipment, REM pods and all this stuff. And as we were setting up, this person stand behind me, and then I felt a punch in my back. I then felt something grab hold of my arm, and I ended up with a scratch down my arm that was in the 3 lines that
Oh shit,
fled.
dude. Oh shit. Okay.
And so I knew then it was physically attacking me. So
Okay.
I knew as a professional, I thought, okay, you don't show fear.
Yeah.
And of course, like a typical white guy, you hung around, right? Instead of being gangster like me,
Yeah,
and I would have ran like hell, you know.
I wouldn't even have shown up.
No.
What the fuck? That's crazy shit. And and what happened after? Did it just go away or?
No. What happened then was I had to find out exactly who the spirit was.
Okay.
And then that's when the team sensitive, the medium, would come in. I went downstairs after it punched me and scratched me. And I took the other team member down with me. And we sat down in the lounge with the house owners. And then once one team member stayed with them and explained to them about the rules of how we were going to do this, me and the medium teamed up then with the other members. So there was then 3 of us going back upstairs where I was attacked. And then the medium confronted the spirit with the 2 of us. And she then was able to work out that it was a gentleman from the 1940s that had been released from prison, and where the house is houses today, that used to be a field, and in this field there was a shed. And he hid in this shed, and whilst he was hiding in the shed, he actually murdered a young girl.
Oh, that's terrible. All right.
And his spirit was sort of bound to that area. And of course, he built the house over the top of this area. So his spirit became part of the house. And he was basically trying to attack the people in the house.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
It was a real troubled spirit.
So you got to do a background check on a ghost that hasn't been alive for 80 fucking years. I would imagine that's very difficult to do. Like,
there was a lot more to it than that. And what I can tell you is that the lady of the house, her husband worked nights as a security guard. And as a typical trouble spirit works, every time he wasn't in the building, he would attack the wife. He would drag her out of bed by her feet. She would literally be pulled out of bed like
fuck, dude.
He would slam the doors. She would feel somebody getting into bed with her.
Okay.
Lying at the side of her.
No, yeah, that's when it's over for me, man.
And he would target the wife.
And the researching part, see, in America, because America was colonized, you know, and I don't want to make it sound cheap, but you know, each tribe has their medicine man, which is like a healer, like a person you go to for, you know, information on things like this. And that when I was living out in that apartment, and I told him, I was like, I feel somebody keeps waking me up when I'm napping. And the first thing he said is, you got to research what tribe lived on that land first. And then you'll find out, because they're angry that you're living on their land, you know, and that's usually one of the answers to people being, you know, visited by people, you know, is that they're not happy because that's their ancestral land, you know. So
how does how's the guy die and then become the ghost?
Right. The scientific theory is that ghosts are a form of energy.
Okay.
And they become bound, what's called bound to certain areas, like our friend was explaining earlier, that you can't always go wandering. They sort of can only visit places that they were at when they were alive. Now, in some cases, troubled spirits will become bound to a certain property because of the energy attached to that place. Now, the fact that it actually, I think he became bound to that area because that's where, when he was released from prison, he murdered someone, which is a really horrific thing to do, take another person's life in for thrills or for whatever. So his energy at that point was so strong that he just became bound to that little area and he wouldn't leave. And then he obviously got stronger and stronger. Oops.
We have a 40-minute time limit, Drew. A gift from Zoom. Running out of time. We moved it. Okay, fucking love it. Okay, whatever. I think we're still going. Yeah, we're still recording.
Yeah, no,
Right, sorry about that.
It said that it's good.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
So there he is, bound to this area. Then the house gets built over the top of it. They move in, and then of course he starts seeing this opportunity to use his anger and his nastiness on the wife when the husband's not there. Because when, like a typical case of all, this is actually true of all troubled spirits. If there's somebody in the building that's strong, that's tough, it won't show itself. It will be like, oh, it'll hide in the corner. But the moment that tough person leaves, the weak one, which in this case was the wife, he would come out and he would just do what the hell he wanted with the wife.
Now, do you think sociologically that could be why some people who are kind of weaker people sometimes say they do not like to be alone?
Yes, it could be, yes, because there could be actually something, house spirits. There are house spirits.
Spirits.
Yeah, there is actually, I don't want to scare anybody now, but the most haunted place in the world is your own home, because you've actually got spirits of your relatives coming in and out.
Okay, so how many
house spirits?
Okay, so like how many ghosts? Okay, sorry, how many spirits do you think there are in the world right now? Because there must be, if they stay, they don't just go away, they don't disappear, right? And they just keep accumulating.
Yeah.
So like millions?
Millions.
Billions, perhaps.
Yeah, because there is a different way, and there's rules that they follow. That, like your relatives or house spirit, I'll go back to the house spirits as an example before, as well as the relatives, is that if a family lived in a house in a property in, say, the Victorian times, and they were really happy.
Okay.
They were just living in that time period.
Okay.
They pass over, they then stay in spirit as in that house as a house spirit. And a good example of a house spirit is when you actually go to buy a new property. You know how sometimes you walk into a house, you say, oh yeah, this is the house, I really like this is what I want to buy. And you get this really nice feeling about the property. Sometimes that is the house spirits making you feel that sometimes the house spirits welcoming you in and wanting you to have that property. The same as sometimes you could go into someone else's house or you're viewing a property and you just get this vibe that there's just something about the place you don't like and you don't want to stay.
Yeah.
Right.
So they all.
I've felt that before. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. So my next question is, so is there a choice with it? Like when Bob dies, Where is he going to go?
Well, wherever he's happiest at the time of his life.
Wherever he was happiest.
Not to the gay bar, that's for sure.
Oh no, that wasn't a happy time. That was a drunk time between you and me, and that's going to stay like that. I
was roofied, and I'll swear by that.
No. You said you wanted it. It's okay, right? You still owe me my watch. You got to mail me my fucking watch. I haven't seen it still.
So I want to tell the North Korea or North Vietnamese story,
please,
real quick, and have him analyze it.
Yeah.
Have Paul analyze it and tell me what he thinks, and I'll tell him what I think. Okay.
So let's do it.
In Saigon, of course, you know, there's that war that went on for a while when we were kids, and outside of Hanoi in northern Vietnam, and I heard this story more than twice. So if I hear it once, to me it's bullshit. If I hear it more than once, I start thinking I want to go there. So this British guy goes to this hotel, he checks in and gets in there, and he's talking to his buddy, and shit starts moving. And they didn't know what to do, so they called security downstairs. They're like, we want a new room. Weird things are happening in here. And the response by the security guard was, oh, he's back, huh? And they're like, what? And they went downstairs and they said, look, we're serious. Like an ashtray literally came flying at me. I want a new room. And the security guard told him, go in the room and announce, I am not American, I am from the UK, and he will leave you alone. Now, my synopsis, and remember now, I have 2 bachelor's degrees, 1 in philosophy, and a law degree, okay? So I'm supposed to be pretty smart, okay?
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be. What I thought was that this guy was someone from the hills, the Hmong people, that helped the Americans fight, and then the Americans ditched them like we do to everybody that helps us fight. And now he's on a vengeance in this northern part of Vietnam, and every time he hears an American voice, he's gonna let you know that he's still angry because we let him down. That's my synopsis.
And Paul, what do you think?
I think that's actually true. I think that's actually exactly how it is with some things, with some spirits. They do linger. They do stay.
Now, is there a way to, other than the sage, if it was not even your house, for like the violent one that scratched you, how do you get rid of that? Like you said, you did the background check, you figured out who he is. Sage, at that point, is that still working?
Yeah, it works after we've got him out of the property. In this particular case, one of our team members had to physically walk him out the front door.
So this guy, he's bound to the house. You have to somehow get him to be able to move him out of there, right?
Yeah, we actually have a physical battle with him. One team member was picked up and thrown against the wall. I was punched. We all got, a lot of the other team members got kicked.
Was there a mark afterwards, after you got punched?
Yeah, you get bruises, you get bleeding cuts, you get physically drained of energy. You feel fine.
Yeah.
And then the next, you feel like you've just completely tired and shattered, and all your energy's gone. And that's because he's taken that energy from you. He's like punched you, and he's stolen your energy.
Now, Bobby, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, man, right? But I kind of want to go on one of these. I kind of want to.
And I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And then here, here's my very favorite ghost story where I finally started believing before I started listening to my indigenous wife. I was in California with a friend of mine, and we lived in a house. I shared a house with him and his family. They're out in Albania now, so I know Marliana is going to watch. So I like to say hi to Mar and McGill. She loves the ghost thing. She believes in it 100%. Well, she was upstairs.
Also, I'm with you guys. Just one second.
And,
I hear you.
And me and McGill were downstairs, and there's this island in the kitchen, and we're doing shots of whiskey. Okay.
Yeah.
So first off, we're drinking. So whatever happens is just whatever. But anyhow, the shot glass was sitting on the island, and we were talking, and the thing you knew, it literally moved about an inch. It just moved, And of course, us being Southern California gangster guys, we both saw it, but we didn't say nothing. But what I did was I nonchalantly reached over and lifted up the shot glass, and I started rubbing the tile, and it was drier than your granddaddy's scalp, And so I took another shot, and I sat it down, and about 5 minutes later, I was like, McGill, did you see that? He goes, dude, I wasn't going to say anything. I got to go get my wife. And she came running down, and she's like, really, did it move? And I'm like, Mar, you know me. I'm pretty pragmatic guy. That fucking thing moved, and it moved on its own. And she's just like, fuck, I missed it, man. I was like, oh my, I was like, no, it's not you missed it. I was like, we're living in a fucking haunted house, man, but yeah, it was a weird thing, and it moved, and I was just, and to me, the funny part of the story was me and McGill were trying to play it off like it didn't happen. Finally, when I brought it out, he was just like, yeah, I gotta go get my wife, man. I gotta tell her this should really happen. I was like, yeah.
So Paul, so to get rid of him, can you just destroy the house if he bonds to the house?
No, to unbond the spirit, it's quite complicated because sometimes it's part of jewelry, sometimes it can be a piece of furniture, sometimes it can actually be just an area in the house. Now, in this case of where we were dealing with the spirit that attacked me and the rest of the team members and threw one team member against the wall.
Yeah, the poltergeist.
He was bound to the area that the house was built on. So there's a secret ritual which I use, which the pagans would use, and years ago, like the Native Americans would use. In the UK, we have pagans, and I learned quite a lot about the pagan ways of how to unbound a spirit, a troubled spirit from that area. Then we're going to battle with the spirit, where you're actually physically fighting. You would get punched, you would get scratched, and then we'd have to weaken the spirit. We would have to stand his ground, and we would have to physically take all of their energy until he was weak enough for one of us, which was the team's medium, to actually physically walk him out the front door.
How do you do that though? Like, I'm sorry, I'm missing that. So do you grab him? Like, how do you physically touch something that's not there?
The mediums can actually see them like we see me and you.
Okay.
So she just literally grabbed hold of his arm and walked him out the property like a bouncer would in a bar. Like you have the bouncers and the security guards.
But he's strong enough to be able to throw people against walls and punch you in the face and all this shit. How is this person able? No, so not at that point. So you've okay, I got you now. So you weaken him with all this shit, right? You're some awesome stuff, right? And then she can physically, or he can physically drag him out.
Yeah, walk him out the property.
Can he come back?
Yes, this is the
Oh, that's
interesting
fucked.
thing. We smudge it. Once she's got him out of the property, she takes him down the road and then she bangs him with the pagan ritual to the lamppost. But that's only temporary. It'll only work for about 30 minutes. Whilst that gives me half an hour to quickly run round with the white sage to do the front door, the windows, the back door, the upstairs windows, clockwise, to put a barrier up.
And where does he go after that?
Well, we then went and sat down in the lounge and waited, because this happens every time we've actually.
Okay, he comes back in. Yeah.
Is it?
Oh no, the guy's waiting outside for these assholes to leave, and you know.
What happens afterwards is that we sit and wait, and because there'll be a tap at the window, a bang, like that, or one.
Let me back in, you assholes.
Yeah, it's actually knocking to come back into the property. And
that's polite of him. That's nice of him to at least knock, you know.
No, in this case, it was the front door, and the front door's got a piece of glass in it.
Okay.
So you can hear this bang, 3 knocks on the window, really loud, but there's nobody there. And that was him trying to get back into the property. So of course we didn't let him in.
So what happens after? Yeah. All right.
What we do after that is we explain to the owners for the next 6 months, if any of your friends or family come to visit the house, just open the door, but do not invite them in. Just simply open the door and stand to one side and automatically walk in, because he will be stood near them or behind them, and once you say, "Come on in," you've let him back in.
So I'm not understanding go.
Is the fact remains that this spirit that is pretty much bonded to this piece of property is still going to be, even if it can't get into the house, it's totally not gotten rid of. You just basically threw him outside, but it will still be around.
Yeah. You can't. You can't physically kill a spirit because it's already dead.
That was my next question. You can't kill him. You can't.
Right.
Can you get a different? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can move the spirit from one property to the next using Native American rituals or pagan rituals or whatever culture you're from, because they all actually work in the same way. They just do it slightly different.
So Paul, say I'm in Cambodia right now.
Yeah.
And the only reason I'm in Cambodia right now is because I thought a girl liked me, and it turned out she didn't. Now let's say I have a ghost here. Would that spirit be able to access Google Maps, and I give it her address, do all the ceremonies,
push the ghost over there,
and then send it there?
I think you need the medium and weaken him, and then carry him over to her, and then that'll work. I think that'll work, because from what I've gathered from what Paul has said.
Well, that's the information I'm trying to get, is if you give it a different location, and it can have much more fun because there's more people living there. I live alone.
And she would make way more noise. She's a weaker person. That's what ghosts like, you know? Yeah. We've been listening. We're learning. I don't think it's going to get him in trouble. I don't think he can say that, actually.
Yeah. So can ghosts get Google Maps? I mean,
no,
I'm just throwing this out there. I mean, like I say, what you're talking about, I'm totally in awe. But if I don't make myself look like an idiot for at least 3 seconds, then I haven't done my job, you know? And
that's how it works.
It's not a knock against you. I believe everything you're fucking saying. I believe everything is true. I just had to add that in there to look like the complete dork that I am.
This is half your
because-
show, and you have totally the right to act like a dork anytime. So,
and
Paul,
it's-
Paul, I gotta know though.
it's my-
So if one spirit is like super bad, and you can't kill the spirit, you can't really banish him. He's gonna come back. So my question is, can you get another spirit who's more badass to fuck up that spirit?
Yes, in some cases you can.
That's fucking cool. That's
What?
fucking right. Yeah. Bob and I would be throwing down. We'd be like, okay, no, let's fuck this ghost up. Let's get Pedro's ghost.
Okay.
He's gonna get his
Paul.
fucking good cartel
Okay.
fucking motherfuckers. And they're gonna chop his fucking ghost head off.
Paul, before you get into that and how that happens, how did you acquire this power? I mean, really? I mean,
He's born with it.
You told us the
His
story.
great grandmother died when he was 6, and he had the power right then.
yeah, but I mean, if you can get bigger, hey, look, what I said earlier about the Ghostbuster suit, I was just kidding, bro. I take that back. You know, don't.
It's
send
too late. You can't take nothing back on this show. That's how it is.
Have you two ever heard of elementals?
So this is so incredible, and I want to meet the medium.
Next time.
No, yeah,
We'll have
I
him on
mean,
once a month if he's willing to do it. It'll be fine.
for real. I mean, this is awesome stuff.
We're
I
going
mean,
to England. We'll do an episode in England. It'll be good. Okay, let's save
Hey,
some
I'll
pennies
tell
and let's go over there. Paul, please tell me how you can get one badass ghost to kick the shit out of the other ghost.
Yes.
Okay. When you're actually doing an investigation, we invite positive spirits into the building to communicate with us, and plenty of positive spirits that are surrounding the building to come and communicate us to tell their story. Those spirits, if we're attacked by a troubled spirit, will sometimes protect us. They will actually come forward as like spiritual guardians, temporary for that moment in time, in order to help deal with that troubled spirit. So that's how you can get one spirit to attack another, because they will do it naturally. There's also there's also a thing called elementals. Now, elementals aren't spirits. They're something completely different. Think of an indigenous life form that some cultures would regard as mythical creatures like imps or gargoyles. In a church in England, you always see stone gargoyles at some point on the roof. Well, they are elementals. That gargoyle is an elemental that guards the church. Now, that is pagan. That is a pagan elemental.
Okay.
Because I know the pagan rituals, I can call upon these sometimes come and help. So if positive spirits won't help, there's always elementals around, and there's a little ritual I can do, and these will come and attack that troubled spirit.
So you can summon the gargoyle to come fuck up.
Yeah, well, it's not
the
just
bad
gargoyles.
guy.
There's foglets. There's different. Different versions of elementals.
I know what you're saying is there are
I'm hearing you. One moment.
Protectors.
Yeah.
The example is it's kind of funny. I have a son that's 23 now, and he wasn't born when I was in Iraq the first time. And we were talking one day, and this was when he was like 5 or 6. And so at that time, he's just a spirit, you know, he's not human, right? And I told him, I was like, he asked me, he's like, Dad, is it true? Mom says that you went to combat in the army. And I'm like, yeah, it's, 90, 91. And he asked me, was I there? And I sat there and thought about it. And I'm like, I always felt like something or someone, because I did a lot of dangerous things. but I always felt like something or someone was kind of watching over me. And when he asked me, was I there? I started thinking to myself, you might have been, you know, you might have known later in life that I was going to be your dad. Maybe you were there, you know, I don't know, you know. So yeah, there are good and bad spirits. I think it's badass that you can summon other spirits to, you know, get rid of the bad guys. I think it's
so Paul,
totally awesome that you brought up the sage part. But I have the next question I have is for pretty much a friend of mine who runs a studio in Wisconsin, and he has cameras in his studio to make sure nobody breaks in and robs him of all his equipment. And he's been getting orbs on his video. He wants to move out now because he's scared.
What are orbs?
What that's my question to Paul. What are the orbs?
So you mean like little circles on shit is on his screen?
Yeah, little circles of light moving around his studio.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
shit.
Problem with orbs is a spiritual orb will be a perfect sphere shape and have its own luminosity and will move with intelligence. As in, it will move around a chair, it will go through an open door, or it will move through a corridor so it's walking, open the door and then come in. Whereas dust particles or tiny little bugs or insects, again, looking through the security camera, if it's night time, if they're very close, they will be roundish, but they will be zigzagging, and or if they're a bug, then they'll go like that, and like a fly would or a bug would. And if it's dust, it will go like that with the wind.
And what is
it? Well, that's the trouble with orbs. You've got to pause the frame. You've got to freeze frame it when you get the footage of an orb, and you've got to pause it and see if it on the pause screen, if it's a bug, you'll sometimes see a wing show up. It's at that debug.
Oh no, I saw the video. He filmed it twice, and he's literally scared. And I saw the video, and it is like little tiny like white images, and there's two of them, maybe three, and they're just kind of, you know, moving around, you know, in his studio after and he's got all the lights out, so you can pretty much see him well. And I know this guy, he's not fabricating it, he's literally scared. He posted the video later, he goes, I'm freaking out, I don't know what to do, I want to move to a different place. He goes, weird things are going on in my studio. And he posted the video, and I'm like, I've seen that before, you know, but I don't know what it means or what they are, or I'll say what they are, you know, because it's Gay Pride Month, so I don't want to offend anybody. So, you know,
are there gay ghosts? There must be.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this one: can ghosts mate in some way? Can they fuck?
No, I don't think it works that way. No.
Okay, so like, is there? So you said there's like tons and tons of ghosts, and they don't need to breed because, you know, people die and then they become a ghost, right? Is there any interaction between them, positive or negative?
Actually, that's quite interesting, because some ghosts don't see other ghosts. If it's a different time period, for instance, we were investigating one place that was built in the 14th century. So you've got one part of the building, 1400, and you've got the modern part.
Okay.
The ghosts that were intelligent spirits. Now, intelligent spirits are ones that know we're there. They actually interact with us. And then the other spirits were sort of more residual. in the fact that they were there, but they weren't aware we were there. One spirit was from an earlier time, and they weren't aware that there was another two spirits in the same building, in the same room at the same time. They couldn't see the other two.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we couldn't understand that at all.
So
But
are
we're
there
not the only paranormal group to actually experience this. There's other scientific evidence that sometimes spirits in different time periods won't actually see each other.
So are there caveman ghosts?
Well, yeah, I would presume so.
So you just eliminated my dumb comedic question for tonight, but I'm gonna ask it anyway, since you're from the UK and I love football, not soccer. I love football. So are Man City ghosts and Man United ghosts, do they still hate each other after life?
I would imagine so, yeah. They're probably having a spiritual game of football and stuff. A bit like the film with Kevin Costner in if Fields of Dreams with the baseball spirits.
So to me, the thing for me is that death to me is, I always take a humorous approach. Like I said, I've been to combat.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of death in my life, and it's going to happen. Everyone dies, and you know, that's just, you know, the nature of life. That's the cycle of life. It happens, you know, and I would hope that I would be a funny spirit, you know, like someone that would fuck around with you and make you laugh.
I hope they don't let you stay. I hope they fucking make you go somewhere else. That's fucked up. You're gonna die before me. I don't want you around me. Like, what the fuck? That's fucked up.
But it's just, people think when you die, they think in the human sense. Like if they're Christian, they're going to heaven as the way we look, which is not true. The body is an earth thing. The spirit is a universe thing, you know? And so I'm hoping my spirit is good looking and hung like a horse.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that, asshole. Like, that's good.
So Paul, is there anything I can do to make this happen?
Well, troubled spirits will pretend to be different people. So I think there is a skill involved and the afterlife that you obviously learn. So when you pass over, you will still be you in personality, because a lot of the positive spirits we've dealt with, they still are themselves. They still are the person that they were when they were alive. So they still have that personality, they still have that charisma and what have you. No different. The only difference is their energy, their spirit.
Right. So you're saying even when I'm dying or dead and just you know, a part of the entire universe, I'm still not going to get laid.
Yeah.
If it comes from your personality, yeah, I guess, man.
Thanks. You just made my day, man.
He said there's no ghost sex anyways. We're fucked.
Well,
he's going on, you know, what we need to do is we gotta set up, when we come to the UK and film a show, we'll set up like a code, you know, and then one of us three dies and becomes a spirit. We'll pass the code to the two of us saying, I'm getting laid right now and I'm a spirit, and we can prove Paul wrong.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. We got to find the medium. We got to do that. All right. I think that's the good way to do it. So Paul, where is there an option for everyone? Can they just go into like reincarnation or go into the universe itself, or are we all bound to become ghosts? Clearly the whole heaven and hell thing is a tremendous amount of bullshit just made by governments to control people.
In our opinion.
In our opinion.
No,
this is our show. Fuck that. It's 100% true. Scientific fact. Anyway, so like, where is there an option for people when they die?
I think there is actually. I think a good example of religion controlling people and how it affects the spiritual world. If you bring religion into an investigation, like you're Christian, say, and you bring a crucifix and holy water, that is really going to upset the spirits. They will kick off big time. Even the positive spirits turn nasty because you're bringing religion into it. Whereas if you're neutral and you're open-minded and you don't bring any religious artifacts in at all, but the house has already got a crucifix in and you've got a troubled spirit, the first thing we do as professional teachers, we remove the crucifix from the property.
Okay.
Because you ever seen it on the films and the horror films where you see the crucifixes turning upside down?
Yeah.
That really does happen.
Okay.
That, for some reason, they really don't like religion. So I think when you pass over, it's neutral. I think it doesn't matter whether you get reincarnated or what, because most spirits are in the other realm for 50 years before they get reincarnated.
The other realm. And that's
I'd like to clarify something real quick that's historically inaccurate about the cross. And I studied this, like I said, I'm supposed to be smart because I went to college.
Supposed to be.
And I studied Greek philosophy and shit. And crucifixion was literally done upside down. Like, so when they crucified somebody, the cross was upside down. They were head down.
Yeah.
But the point I want to make though is if the mean spirits like Paul brought up like to feed on weak people, and I'm a total Nietzschean. Nietzsche is about living for life, not for death. You know, live life. Death is going to happen. Don't worry about all that. You know, what happens afterwards, live life. So on that, if you're a very devout religious person, no matter what religion it is, I would think by what Paul has told us so far, the stronger spirits would feed the fuck out of those spirits for being so weak and not open-minded to other things. Am I overthinking this?
No.
Cool.
No.
So you said the other realm. Now, does that mean like the waiting room to be reincarnated?
I'm talking about
like in Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about what some people call heaven, what some people call the astral planes. When I say the other realm, I mean very broad-minded.
I hate sandworms. Sandworms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You pass over.
Say
you
my
go
name.
over into this other
Okay.
realm.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether that other realm to you is heaven or the astral planes or you wait. It's a waiting room for 50 years that you get reincarnated.
50 years.
Yeah, because I have to be careful how I say this because I actually know this from spirits. When you pass over, say you are a Buddhist, and Buddhists believe in reincarnation. There's a 50-year period due to the fact that when you come back, you don't really want to have any sudden memories of people that you knew when you were first alive. Now, the process is to forget. But sometimes you don't forget. And have you ever heard cases of where somebody goes under well, not under hypnosis, but sometimes they have very vivid memories of somebody else's life, say, or they can talk another language, which they've never been to the country of. And then an hypnotist will put them under hypnosis, regression as they call it, and then they talk in a different voice, and they're actually got the spirit of somebody else inside them. Well, that's reincarnation gone wrong.
Yeah, see, okay. Plato had an interesting analogy of that, because Plato, I'm not sure if you know this, and if you do, excuse me, because I just met you today. But yeah. Plato's idea of the good, he didn't call it God, he called it good, right? It was a champagne glass with a hole in the bottom. Now, while you're on Earth, you're supposed to gather knowledge. You're supposed to put away, the fact that you enjoy blowjobs or like Adam, hairy toes, things like that, and learn things. You're supposed to learn things. And when you die, if you didn't learn enough knowledge, you're in that wine glass, and eventually you slip, your soul or whatever slips out of the wine glass into another person. You come back to Earth, and your mission, even though you don't know it, is to get knowledge. And the way he backed that up was, how can a kid from age 3 to 7 learn so much so quick, but also know things like that are very common to everybody, like what's a cup, lava. Like how many kids have been to a fucking volcano but still play the lava game? Don't hit the lava. You know what I'm saying? So so Plato had this idea that if you don't learn a lot and you just chase hairy toes like Adam all the time, no matter how many times you're dying, you're coming back and you're chasing hairy toes, So it is a thing, and it's weird, and they try to say it's like a inherited knowledge, but no one can explain how you can learn a language so quickly, but yet when you get older, it's so fucking hard to learn a language, So
or be able to tie your shoes like Bob, or be able to fabricate a sentence without stuttering or anything like that, right?
Or what toilet paper's for.
No, in Asia it's for streamers in Asia. What are you talking about? For Christmas stuff in Asia, right? That's what you do it for. You don't need that.
I get what Paul's talking about. Is it's like you might forget things, but I have dreams, and some of my dreams are just fucking out of control because I have PTSD. But I have dreams of, like, let's say for instance, I was killed during D-Day of World War II. I've never been to France, but those dreams seem real to me. Like I was actually there. Can you like kind of touch on something like that?
Yeah, there's two scientific theories behind this. When you're asleep, it's easier for a spirit to communicate with you, and you tap into your subconscious mind and actually interfere and give you dreams that they want you to have, because it's their way of trying to tell you what they're trying to say. Because when you're awake and you're not trained in the paranormal of how to read the energy or to notice that you're not in the room on your own, how to communicate with them whilst you're awake, when you're asleep, they will do that. Same as when you
so ghosts can fuck your dreams up.
Yeah, if it's a troubled spirit, they can give you nightmares. They can actually physically give you nightmares. That's some. They tell stories of something's on top of them, you can't move. Sometimes that's sleep paralysis. sometimes it isn't. Sometimes there really is a spirit on top of them, pinning them down or throttling them.
Now, can a ghost fuck you?
Well, yes, there's entities.
So that does happen.
But
now
there
we're
was
on to
that-
something
I told
interesting. Okay, hold on.
I told you.
No, now we're back
I
to
told
something.
you.
Yep.
I told you there was that movie out about a woman, and it was based on a true story.
Oh, bro,
allegedly.
there's like tons of those in Japanese porn where she just sits there and she's like, woman gets
No,
fucked
no,
by
this
ghosts.
is
There's tons of that.
no, but like, this movie, the lady was being tossed around and violently sexualized by spirits.
That's cool.
She's alive today. She still attests to it today.
Whatever.
She's
It's
alive.
that's all good. So my question is, okay, when I was 17, I was doing a lot of drugs. This one was ecstasy
No.
and shit like that, right? Like pills. I went to my friend's house to go help him move the next day on an island. I stayed in their spare bedroom, and I'm sitting there coming down on E. It's like 5 a.m, sun's coming up, and you know, I sleep naked, just like any fucking guy that has the bed to himself is going to do. And suddenly, I feel something take my dick up like this, and it peeled the banana, and it started jerking me off a little bit. And then everybody who I told this to, like, I don't know. First off, next morning, I come downstairs and I'm like, yo, dudes, is your place haunted? Didn't even talk about the getting jerked off. He's like, well, what do you mean? Right? Like, dude, Tenzin, right? Like, fucking, like, is there a ghost in here? He's like, oh, you saw her too. She's fucked, man. And then I asked him, he was like, yeah, I got jerked off by a ghost. Like, yeah. But it was a chick ghost, right? He's like, yeah, score, dude. so they can actually they can fuck women, and if they wanted to, if it was like a gay rapist ghost, he could fuck you.
Well, yeah. If it was an entity gay, yeah.
Fuck, dude. How do you? So in order to protect yourself from that, you gotta wipe your asshole with sage and put it all over the bedroom. So every 6 months, right? Or like, that's never happened to me again. I've actually tried to invite other ghosts to jerk me off just because it was kind of cool, and it never happened again. Have you ever been in a sexual relationship with some form of deity?
No.
Never. Have you
when you talk about the energy you felt, have you ever done one of your I'll call it a mission, some army guy, on one of your missions, have you ever felt like an overwhelming warmth of energy from the spirit that you're there to investigate? Like to me, love is kind of like fabricated, but like, have you ever gotten the overwhelming feeling like, oh, this is a very good spirit, and he or she thinks I'm kind of cool?
Yeah, I felt spirits take hold of me hard, and it's in a nice way of sort of tapping me to say, oh, I'm here. I've also felt a spirit hug me, actually give me a hug.
Were you comforted by that hug?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a very nice, like I said, positive feeling of saying thank you, that they've told the story, somebody's willing to listen, and we've got it right in what we were saying and explaining to the living. And that's what they do. They sometimes come and touch you on the arm, go like that, sort of that way. And this time I got hugged. And there was a time when I actually got a hug.
Now, you being so knowledgeable of this and have practiced it so much, if you wanted to, could you fuck a ghost?
I don't know.
No. The more important thing is, in this day and age, in this
it's
day and
respectful.
age,
You're not going to fuck a ghost. Okay, that's good.
yeah, but in this day and age, do you think human ghost marriage should be legal?
I think so. I think so. But even more important question with that is, if you guys don't, it doesn't work out and you get divorced, does she still get to take half your shit? That's what I want to know with that, right? Like that you would need a ghost lawyer for that one.
Yes, you would.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine feeling fear because, like I said, when I saw the cup move and I felt that hand on my shoulder, I mean, I was literally scared for a while. But I mean, there has to be a positive. I mean, Hollywood makes ghosts out to be just this terrible, terrible, terrible thing. And yes, like you said, there are some, but people got to understand that some spirits are there to guide you or help you, like you said, through dreams, you know, and things like that. And so that, you know, I don't fear ghosts or spirits, but when weird shit happens, that's when I pull out the sage. If everything is kind of copacetic and like you said, I get a warm feeling and I'm not afraid, dude, they could help themselves to a beer, you know, use the toilet, but if you're a dude, put the seat up, shit like that. But, you know, if it's something that frightens me, then I go right to my guy, I get sage and I clean my whole house out.
So Paul,
I mean,
are there ever wars with ghosts? Are there battles with ghosts? Do multiple ghosts ever fight each other at the same time?
I think so. Yeah, I've never actually had any experience with a ghost battle.
Yeah.
But I have heard of similar things. Yeah.
Just like, you know, like as humans, right? Because, you know, ghosts are the next, I guess, next stage of humans, I guess we'll call it like that. Humans, they usually don't fight one guy versus one guy. A lot of the time, it's usually a whole bunch of people pissed off at a different whole bunch of people. Do you think racism still is a thing with ghosts? Like if it's
no,
okay.
No, I think from my experience, 250 investigations, racism, religion is bye-bye. Once you pass over,
doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Okay,
it's a different way of life.
I think we should all strive to be like ghosts. Then that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, I think that is a really cool thing, man.
Yeah.
That's good to know because like me and Adam, we pride ourselves on being kind of rambling idiots on our gig, but in all truth, we're probably the most humans you'll ever meet. We don't judge people. We don't, you know, be and let be. I mean, this guy, I mean, used to take 10% of his earnings from gigs and buy water for people on the streets in Thailand and shit. You know, he did cool shit, you know, and I do the same thing. You know, if I see somebody that looks like they need help, $5 to me is nothing. I'll give them $5, but I make sure to tell them, buy food, eat, you know. And so,
and how often do they fucking do that, right?
Yeah. Well, in Southern California, they're getting a 40 and, you know, a single cigarette, but you know, it is what it is.
A third of a crack, a third of a rock, right? That kind of a thing.
Yeah. So
but, Paul, what? Yep. Sorry.
Nope. Adam, you're up.
Yeah. So, Paul, when you pass over, because of your extensive knowledge of all this stuff, what are you going to do? Or if it's up to you, are you going to stick around?
Are you going to have enemies? Are there ghosts?
Oh, there's tons of ghosts waiting to kick his ass. So you're talking about, look at 250 investigations. He can't die. He's fine. They'll fuck him up a little bit and he'll be okay. Right?
But I mean, like, is there like a crip ghost gang out there waiting for you to die so they can fucking beat the shit out of you for chasing them out of their house.
Yeah, they've already tried. Since I've been here on my own, and I've had trouble spirits coming in that have evicted before trying to get.
He's gonna actually. He's probably gonna be a really powerful ghost because he already knows all of this shit and stuff. He's probably gonna be like the Gandalf of ghosts, and just totally fuck him up with his ghost magic at this point.
Now,
For real, I'm not
Paul,
even joking. He's gonna be fucking badass.
Yeah. Now, Paul, do you have a website or a YouTube channel that you would like to throw out here real quick so people can check you out?
Yeah, my paranormal group was No Staff's Paranormal.
Okay, well, please just send me the links and I will post this to the comment section below. And if anyone wants to watch this, we'll do that. And I'll make this a real quick. Let's do a cut segment real quick right here. 1, 2, 3. Everybody, if you want to go and check out Paul's awesome ghost hunting stories and all of his stuff, this is where you can find him. Okay, we're back to it, Ariel. And
all right.
Please get back to the thing. What are you going to do once you pass over?
I'm going to go and see if I'm allowed to travel and be a wandering spirit, I'm going to travel and see all the interesting places in the world that I wasn't able to visit in life because I couldn't afford or lockdown or what have you. And that's what I like to do.
Awesome. And like after you've seen it all, so you've made a decision that you're going to stay on Earth.
Yeah.
And now, would you stay as a ghost or would you go to the astral plane after you've checked stuff out and had your awesome ghost holiday?
I'd stay as a ghost and then get astral plane.
I mean, you've been doing this. How old are you?
Sorry?
What's your age?
My age? Well, I'm 52.
I'm 53. Don't worry about it. How old are you?
I'm 52.
Okay, so you've been doing this for 46 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you should at least take a week off, you know, like he said. So take the tour of the universe and then come back and, you know, go back to work, man, you know.
Yeah. Are you going so you're going to be a good powerful ghost.
Yeah.
And then you're going to stay in ghost form.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
See the Amazon rainforest, the tribes in the Amazon rainforest, the African tribes, and China, and really outback China.
Yeah.
You know,
and
the wilderness of China.
I guess my pending question would be, because I have friends from all over the world, and 99% of them think I'm crazy.
All of them, come on.
Oh no, they know I'm crazy.
Yeah, come on.
Paul, how many? I mean, I'm sure you have a good group of people and a good group, a circle that supports you. Have you? You're from Britain, and I know you're not one to shy away from knocking someone's teeth out. Has it ever gotten to the point where someone's insulted you and told you were so crazy that they deserved a broken nose? I mean, just honestly.
No. With me, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So I never take offense. I'm very thick-skinned.
Right.
I'm also very open-minded and very sort of Captain sort of Star Trek minded, really. It's sort of like everybody has their own opinion, and if they believe spirits don't exist, that's their opinion. If they think I'm a little nuts and they tell me to my face, I just say, okay, that's what you think. Fair enough. And then I walk away.
So you don't even try to defend yourself with your experiences to these other people who are not open-minded to these things that you are trying to tell them?
No, because I've learned this from when I was running the goes with where the red side was concerned is if you engage with a spammer, if you put something up, and like for instance, if we say this is an orb, you would automatically open yourself up to be shot down in flames by spammers. They will deliberately attack the website and say, this isn't this. So where I would very cleverly put possibly
orbs,
possibly a ghost, possibly an orb, and I never got any spam.
See, I agree with you. I'm very open-minded, and if you tell me something like, for instance, we already made a point that we think that religion is mythology, and that's it. But if what you're doing with that religion makes you a better person, I won't fight with you about it. I will say, are you happy? Yes, I'm happy. Okay, have a good day. Do you want another beer? You know, and I'll let it be, you know. So I agree with that approach. Like me and Adam, we're kind of the same guys, just really.
This one's way better looking. Like, that's just it.
You'll never get an argument out of me from that. I'm a very ugly guy.
I still love you. It's okay.
Yeah, but that's my approach. If you don't believe in my ideology, which I've worked 50 years on, and you want to just argue with me, I'll be like, look, dude, I'm not inviting you into my life. You already have your own life. And if you're happy, and like I said, and you're not hurting anyone, more power to you, bro. And I'll be happy, and I'm not hurting no one, you know? Let it be.
Precisely.
Yeah. And so you have all these experiences. We've learned a lot about ghosts so far. There's some serious shit. Is the ectoplasm real? Does that happen?
Yeah.
So they do
That's
like splooge on stuff.
Wait, no. Are you serious?
It is. Have you ever been in a situation where you walked into what you felt was a cobweb?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was no cobweb.
And there wasn't a cobweb.
Yes.
That's ectoplasm. That is actually ectoplasm of the spirit.
Dude, like today, okay. This is gonna sound
it happened today, yeah.
But today, I'm standing on my balcony on the 7th floor. It's a clear blue day. There's not a cloud in the sky. And I'm just sitting there leaning, and I'm thinking about some things that are coming up. And all of a sudden, shit starts dripping on my arm. And I'm looking around like, the fuck is this moisture coming? I came back in the house. I was like, no.
You got cummed on. You got ghost cum. There you go. Money shot. That's cool.
I'm on the 7th floor, dude.
Is there ever extreme cases of ectoplasm? Or have you seen one?
I've actually felt those cobweb type feelings quite a few times when I'm going into a haunted house where it's nice cold. One's been over my face and it's just sort of gone like a veil, and it's been icy cold. And then I've gone with the torch and my hand, I'm thinking, I was walking into a cobweb. No, there's no spiders, there's no cobwebs. And then I felt it again pass over my arm this way like a veil, and the spirit's still there, but it's sort of walking around me.
So what is it? What is the ectoplasm?
I suppose it's just residue of energy that's dispersed like I thought, if you imagine thunderstorm, and you got your lightning, and then you get fault lightning, and you get a bit of energy go off, shoots off. I suppose that's ectoplasm. You know, the ghost is an energy, form an ball of energy, and then sometimes they overcharge and then they produce this residue, which is towards feels like an icy cold cobweb.
Cool.
Wow.
That's a scientific theory worldwide within the paranormal.
Like, you have fucked Bob up for life now, if he wasn't already fucked up. Now, every time he's going to feel a cobweb or something, he's like, I got ectoplasmed. I swear to God, you have fucked him up forever now. Right?
Dude, like I said, I had promoted tonight for the last week, and a lot of people were excited. And as the co-host of this show, I was going in it as, we'll see what happens. And to me, this has been the most amazing experience of my life. I mean, this has been
very cool.
Fucking rad, man. I mean, this is it, dude. This is so cool, man. Really.
I wish we had more time. We're pretty much over time now. I think I can only upload an hour and a half, 90 minutes to YouTube. But let's do this. Let's do this again, boys. I think this is really good. By the way, Paul also is a great musician. He's a keyboard player. He's got a lot of music available on Facebook and YouTube. You can check that out at these other links below if you want to take a listen. Thank you for tuning in to this show. We're going to have more things like this. Thanks for your patience and supporting it from the beginning.
Next week we'll have a very special guest from Thailand. Yeah, which should be cool.
Well, he's from America, living in Thailand at the moment, and the next subject is gay stuff, which is cool. For real, it's what homosexual stuff, right? Is what the next one is about, which is really cool.
It's LGBTQ month in fucking America.
Yeah, so it's cool. No, whatever. We're good. It's fucking. It sounds funny. It sounds funny, but just like today's episode, some people might consider this, upon the first reading, if you just say like ghost stuff, right? They're gonna not take it seriously right away. But then you hear the man speak, and you hear these stories, and I myself, who am an incredibly skeptical person a lot of the fucking time, I honestly believe what he is saying. This is some incredible shit.
This was a great show. I'd like to thank you personally for joining us, man.
Thanks, man.
This meant a lot to me, man. Really.
It's a highlight of his fucking week. It's great. Mine too, actually. Really.
We have news coming out, in the next 3 or 4 weeks, which will be better. But as of right now, this was awesome. I mean, thank you very much, Paul. Any parting words you want to tell us about, if things to look for people that may not know they have spirits in their house?
Well, thank you very much for you two inviting me and having me on this show, because I've really enjoyed it as well, and it's been enlightening for me. And for the first thing is if you have a house and you're scared like your friend is with the security camera, go online and look for a professional team who don't charge money to come and help you. And if you feel that you're not alone and you're not afraid, and you're at home and you think, I don't think I'm on my own, simply ask the question to the spirit, if you think there's one there, can you do this? And ask them to tap twice. And then if you get a tap twice in the corner and there's nobody there, you know that you weren't imagining you're on your own, that you're not on your own. You really aren't on your own, because they've just replied.
Well, that's not good.
They will tap twice, and you just say tap twice for yes, once for no.
Now you fucked me up for life.
Yes. And questions.
What are you doing?
Well, I'll tell you right now, Paul, I will never do that. So
yeah, I mean, well, I'm saying I'm not going. I'm going to do it now, and it's going to fuck me up. Right? I'll move every 6 months now. What the fuck, man?
I will never do that. And like to reschedule you again, maybe next month, if that's okay with you.
That'd be really nice. Yes,
That'd be
thank
great.
you. I'm
Yeah,
up for that,
cool, man.
definitely.
So thanks a lot, Paul. Don't go
One
away.
last thing. So in regards to Bob's friend, who's going to go and try to get the team that does it for no money, try to do the tap. If none of that works, I highly recommend that you send me money to then send Paul over to Bob's friend's house to fix that. Because if something's strange in the neighborhood, who are you going to call? Paul Harrop, right? So thank you very much, Paul, for coming out. We really appreciate you. Let's see you again next month. This has been honestly, this is probably our first show where it's coming together more. We're not 100% there yet, right? Thank you very much for coming through this trial experience. I think we're a good, I'd say 5 to 10 more shows away from having it solid to where we can go do other cool shit.
As our first guest, I don't think we could have booked anyone better.
Absolutely. So, I'm going to use some of.
Don't spend all that money we paid you on a car and shit.
Yeah, or second house, any of that. I know you like that beach condo over that you're looking at. Is it okay for me to use some of your footage from YouTube and splice it in here at the beginning?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll do that.
Yeah. Use whatever footage you find that's useful. Still photos that are useful.
Awesome.
That's fine.
Wonderful.
He's going to stop recording, but don't hang up yet, Paul.
Okay.
I won't hang up.